Alright, what's going on, guys? It's S.Gamer. So in this video we are going to continue the NFL head coach 09 rebuilding. So next up on the list is the Cincinnati Bengals. So again, I'm just going to make a new coach. I'm going to do the same setup as last time. We're going to go ahead and put 5 points in a performance. And then we're going to go in and we're going to buy charisma. We're going to buy off-season seminar, and we are going to buy game film analysis. So that's done. We're going to go ahead and keep the I'm actually going to go change this playbook to 3-4. We're going to keep the old Bengals playbook. I'm just going to keep the team philosophies as they are. The one interesting thing about the Bengals is they do prefer blocking tight ends. So my tight end setup is going to be a lot different than usual. There's like 2 or 3 guys that I know I'm going to target off the bat. So the Bengals have an interesting free agency decision. So free agents we've got Kyle Larson, we've got Stacey Andrews, and we've got Justin Smith. I think I'm going to go ahead and tag Justin Smith because he is definitely the better player. So that's who we're going to put the franchise tag on. And neither of those RFAs are worth putting a tag on. So we are going to go ahead and sim this real quick and put the franchise tag on Justin Smith. So our season goals, something I forgot to talk about. There's season goals throughout the season. So tight end, right outside linebacker, and right guard is what we need to focus on. So we're going to go ahead and sim to free agency. In this video, I'm going to make it a bit longer, actually a lot longer, and kind of show you guys my process of how I build these teams, like the trade negotiations that go into it. And then you guys let me know in the comments if you preferred the Bears video where I just kind of showed some highlights, showed the recap of what I did, or this where I'm going to kind of go into depth about what I did. So we've got Carson Palmer, definitely going to build the team around him. He's a great quarterback. Then we got Jeff Rowe, who I think can be a solid backup, so we're going to go ahead and keep him. Rudy Johnson's a decent running back. We're going to get rid of Kenny Watson. He's just kind of average, so we're going to get 2 picks from the Detroit Lions for him. Then we've got Chris Perry, who's going to be tough to get rid of. And same with Kenny Irons. Although he has some decent potential. So then we've got Jeremy Johnson, who's a solid fullback. We're going to go and keep him for now. Then we got 2 great receivers in Chad Johnson and TJ Houshmandzadeh. Then Glenn Holt can probably be traded. He's not the greatest receiver. Then we've got 2 tight ends in Reggie Kelly and Daniel Coates, who we need to get rid of. Both of them are not the best. I'll probably stick with Levi Jones at left tackle. Then Adam Kift is a decent backup, it looks like. Andrew Whitworth, the solid backup left guard. Eric Gayachuk can be a decent backup center, but we're going to get rid of this guy. Scott Questra. Actually, I think we're going to keep him and get rid of Bobby Williams. Actually, we're going to keep both in the trade block for the moment. And then at right tackle, we have Willie Anderson, who is one of the best in the league. At left end, we got Robert Geathers, who's average, but we got to keep him because of his high salary cap penalty. And then Frosty Rucker, we're going to try to get rid of. Justin Smith, definitely going to be kept around as a building block of the squad. So D-tackle, we're going to keep Damata Peko, but we're going to get rid of John Thornton and Michael Myers. Then Rashad Johnson, definitely a top left outside linebacker. Those are hard to come by early on in the game. Ahmad Brooks, Anthony Schlegel. We'll hang on to Brooks for the moment. Schlegel, we're going to get rid of, though. We definitely need a right outside linebacker, rid of any on our roster. We have a decent corner set up in Leon Hall, Jonathan Joseph, and Deltha O'Neal. David Jones, though, is one guy that we can stand to get rid of. Marvin White and Nato Ndukwe are solid solid safeties. Dexter Jackson we can get rid of, though, because he makes a lot for a backup. And we have a solid kicker in Shane Graham, who we'll probably hang on to. And then at punter, I don't know what we're going to do yet. So, trades. So, the 3 positions that we need to upgrade. The first one, definitely right outside linebacker. So, DeMarcus Ware is probably going to be unattainable. Sean Merriman, let's see what they want for him. They want 2 first-round picks, which we're not going to do. We do hold the 9th overall pick in the draft, which could make an option to get Keith Rivers. They don't need to trade Thomas Howard. Keith Bullock is kind of old for my liking. See what the Bears want for Lance Briggs since he has a high salary. Okay, they're not interested in any of our players. I'm trying to find a trade where we can give up players as part of the deal. So Julian Peterson. Let's see, what do they want for him? Okay, it's a bit too much. First round pick. I'm going to try not to trade high draft picks. Although we are doing 1 season, I do kind of want to keep it like realistic. I'm not going to just trade away all the picks next year unless it's like a really good deal. Like, I'm not going to just do it just to do it. Then we got James Harrison. I'm just kind of scrolling through all the offers, making sure that there's no one that they want. I mean, I know there's most likely not going to be. Unless it's like early on. The Packers want to trade AJ Hawk. Donnie Edwards. Yeah, okay. So anybody I didn't look at. Keith Bullock we can look at. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is, so right outside linebacker, tight end. So the thing is, like I said, there's actually no 85 plus tight ends that we can get because of the blocking system. So we're probably going to fail that goal. But we do need to trade for my man Chad Mustard from the Broncos because they don't value him at all since they're not in a blocking system. So we can literally give our 2009 7th round pick for him. Get an 80 overall tight end that we can use. And there's 2 guys that are in free agency that we can get after the draft. That will be our other pickups. And our last goal, I gotta double check which one it was. Was it left or right guard? Okay, right guard. We can trade for. So I know some options at right guard. We got Sean Andrews, who's probably gonna take a lot to get. Yeah. Then we've got Chris Snee, another guy that I like. But they don't want anybody off our team. Those are my 2 go-tos at right guard. Randy Thomas, they don't want to trade. Leonard Davis, they don't want to trade. Stephen Neal, another guy that I know can generate some interest, but Devin Joseph. Nope. Okay. So yeah. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find trades. I think what we're gonna do though is, let's see, who can we get rid of? Who is expendable? Because we don't have really anybody good on the trade block, to be honest. Who can we get rid of? O linemen usually don't have a high trade value. I think really we're just gonna kind of stick with this team. What I may do is, I know who I want with the 9th pick, and we're not going to get the tight end goal. What I may do is just go ahead and trade for a right guard. So, Sean Andrews is kind of expensive to get. Chris Snee. Let's just go Sean Andrews. He's the best one in the league, so he's going to be worth the price. Let's go ahead and just give up a 2nd and 3rd round pick next. Okay, never mind. Let's see what we can give up. 2 2nd round picks. I really don't want to give up that much, so I'm not going to. I was going to get him, but the price is a bit too high for me. So Chris Snee. Let's see, what do they want for him? They want... Let's go 2nd and 3rd. Yeah. Let's just do it. Bite the bullet. We completed the goal, got our approval up a bit. So then, from there... Trying to find something that works. So let's see. Honestly, yeah, I think we're gonna stick with what we got going into the draft, so we can sit into the draft. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here, and we'll see you guys at the NFL draft. Okay, so we're at the NFL draft. So we own the 9th overall pick. So the Dolphins, they choose Jake Long. The Rams choose Chris Long. Falcons choose Matt Ryan. Oakland chooses Glenn Dorsey. Kansas City takes Ryan Clady. The Jets want to move up with the 6th pick. I may move up, actually, because the Panthers are wanting to move up, and they'll take Keith Rivers. So what we're going to do is we're going to give up the 9th pick. No, let's do it this way. We're going to give up we're going to give up a 1st next year and our 2nd. I'm not taking Vernon Golston because he's not good at right outside linebacker. We're taking the other top right outside linebacker in this draft, which is USC's Keith Rivers. That gets us the goal. And we actually still have our pick. We don't need Darren McFadden because we have Rudy Johnson, but we might as well take him, so I'm just going to do it. Because McFadden is like the best player in this draft, in my opinion at least. So it's going to be hard. I'm not going to be able to trade into the 1st round again. So, yeah, we're pretty much done on this day. I'm just going to kind of sim. We'll see if there are any trade offers come up to move up in the draft and just see what they are. But since we gave up our 2nd round pick and our 1st round pick next year, it's going to be pretty hard to move up. '57th pick. They want like 3 picks next year, so we're gonna decline that respectfully. Yeah, we're gonna skip through. I don't really need anybody in these spots particularly, so on to day 2. So let's see what picks we got. We've got 77. We got a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 2 6ths, and a 7th. So that should be pretty good. So my target here, I should be able to land. One thing I'm nervous about is I don't know what system the Bengals run. I do want a defensive tackle, not Pat Sims, although he is good. I want the man from Maryland, Dre Moore, who is like one of the best D tackles in this game. So, yeah, so we did that. Andre Woodson goes in the 3rd round this time. It's crazy how variable he is. He either goes in like the 3rd or 4th round, or just literally doesn't get drafted. It's crazy. And so thankfully, when we don't need him right here, is when he goes early. Okay, so they want to start a receiver. I agree we need a receiver. Will Franklin's not good though. So we're going to take my man from Michigan, Mario Manningham. We're just going to kind of sim through these picks. I should kind of check and see if there's any players that other teams want, but I don't think there really is going to be at this point, so we're just going to kind of go through. Josh Johnson fell to the 5th round. That's pretty crazy. Normally he's a solidified 4th round pick. Okay, Trey Williams is not good. I don't know. I guess we just don't, because he's the best player on the board. We could use another corner, though. Jonathan Wildhide is decent. So is Jonathan Zenon. I think we're going to go Dewan Tribble, though, because he usually ends up being one of the better corners. Roy Schuening, who's one of my targets at right guard. He's normally one of my targets at right guard, at least. So like I said, we're not going to get the tight end goal, because at blocking tight end, there's not really any good options. So here in the 6th round, we've got 2 picks right in a row. Chris Harrington is not going to cut it. Left end, are there any good left end options? No. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait. What we're actually going to do is take one of my favorite left guards to replace Stacey Andrews in David Hale from Weber State. Next I'm going to take Chris Harrington. We're going to trade out of this pick, or we're going to keep it, but we're going to take, who do I want? We're going to take, we need some backup safeties. So we're going to go with Chris Horton here, who is pretty decent. And then we're just going to kind of sim this stuff, sim these late round picks. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay, so now the 7th round comes by. Nobody's going to be willing to trade their pick. They still want me to draft Chris Harrington. So what I'll do is I'll take a right end and probably move him to left end. So we'll go with Eric Baker. So yeah, so we lose a little bit of approval for failing the tight end goal, but it should be fine. That's why I have charisma. It reduces the loss. So trying to see any interesting options to sign. as a undrafted free agent. Tony Bake is one of my favorite prospects. Hank Smithers is decent. We need another defensive tackle. Jay Lehman would be solid, but I don't want to spend a lot on him. David Vobera as a backup. And then what we'll do is we'll get Keelan Johnson. And then for our last spot, we'll take, who do we want? We'll go with Buckingham, I think, at halfback, because we can use him as a backup. He has high potential. He's not necessarily the best, like, rating usually, but he can be a solid, like, third string back behind McFadden and Rudy Johnson. So we ended up with Keith Rivers and Darren McFadden, which is pretty solid. I think they both are going to be good. Help make this team competitive early on. I think we should be pretty solid. I think this team can make the playoffs. We just need to make some upgrades, get some depth on the team. But we've got Palmer, McFadden, Chad Johnson, Hushmanzada, a solid O-line in my opinion. And so I think that the offense is good enough, and the defense was already pretty solid. We got some good safeties. We picked up Keith Rivers to fill a hole at linebacker. One thing I do want to look at is a middle linebacker. There's not really a lot of good ones in the draft outside of Bo Bell, but there were better guys to take in the mid rounds. Like, he's normally a 4th round pick, and I wanted to take Manningham. So we got a few more seconds here to pick up my man Jamal Buckingham. And so all 5 slots have been filled. So now what happens is it goes to training camp. I need to ask me, my GM are enough skill points to get a skill, so we'll go with that. Okay. So now it seems pretty quick to training camp, where we can sign guys that didn't get picked up in free agency. So there's a few guys that are going to be on my list. So, okay. So these quarterbacks. Okay. We need another quarterback. I'm going to go Aaron Brooks. He's normally not that highly rated, so I don't know what system we were in, to be honest. Dan Creeder, solid blocking fullback. Then here we go. This is what I was talking about. We've got Mark Bruner's an 84 overall, and Kyle Brady's an 81. Then we'll take Torrin Tucker. And none of these, besides Damian Woody, kind of interests me. And then some solid D tackles. Klecko, Moore, Lyle. We'll keep those guys for now. And Javon Hay. We'll put him on the rosters to see what kind of options we got. Need a backup left outside linebacker, so we'll pick up Lamar Marshall for now. And at corner, Randall Gay and Ty Law, both available. Normally Randall Gay, he's a very rare sighting as a guy that you can just pick up. Him and Daryl Jackson are 2 guys that, like, you'll sometimes see, but not often. So then at running back, let's pick up some of these guys. So Michael Pittman, Cedric Houston, Julius Jones. I'm not going to keep all these guys, but they could be used in trades. And Avian Kaysen is a guy that you can usually trade. He's usually pretty good at, like, other systems, but not this one. I don't know what system we're in, but he's going to be the first guy we try to trade. Okay, let's see. Do any of these guys? get us any trade interest. I don't know if I want to keep Kenny. We'll put Kenny Irons on the block as well. So we'll start with Michael Pittman. He can get us. I want to see if there's any players that show up. Because picks aren't really going to help us, like I said. But we might as well just take them, and then maybe we can go trade for some players. Plus, it'll help get our approval up. So Julius Jones to the Panthers for 2 6th-round picks. Okay, so those guys we're gonna go and keep them on the trade block for now. And then Chris Perry, Kenny Irons, probably not gonna get any trade interest for them. But yeah, so this looks pretty decent. We need another receiver too. We'll probably keep Glenn Holt as a depth option. Daniel Coates definitely needs to get traded. Reggie Kelly, Daniel Coates. Need to move one of these guys to, well, we can keep 5 tackles actually. Another thing is I might consider an upgrade at center. We got David Hale for there. We're going to keep Kustra. But yeah, this team looks pretty solid. We could probably try to trade Peko now. As well as John Thornton and Myers. And then let's see if any of these guys get trade interest. We'll start with Dan Klecko. Because we've got Dre Moore, so we don't necessarily need him. So we'll send him to the Cardinals. Get a pick from them. Rashad Moore, Rodney Lyle, Javon Hay. So I think what we'll do is, let's do this. We'll keep those 3 guys. Or no, we'll keep. And we've got along with Dre Moore, so and those 4 we can put on the trade block for now. But yeah, like I said, I kind of want to find an upgrade at middle linebacker. And then we drafted a guy. So we don't need Dexter Jackson since we got Johnson and Horton. Oh, we do need a punter. I forgot about that. I forgot to draft one. So we'll go with Todd Sauerbrunn for the moment. There might be a better punter that gets cut though. And then a receiver. I might go ahead and trade for another receiver that we can use. The middle linebacker. I don't want to send any of those guys. No, what we're going to do real quick is we're going to move Killen Johnson to free safety. So what we need to do is trade for another receiver and another middle linebacker. So middle linebacker, there's one guy that I really like. I don't know if they're going to part with him, but Patrick Willis, no. Okay. Let's see. I might go to my go-to. Okay, Dalius Thomas. My man Ray Lewis. He's gonna cost a lot. But I think we gotta do it. We'll go. What do they want? They want a first and second. They take a first and third? No. Okay, first and second's a bit too much, in my opinion. So we're not going to do that. James Ferrier. They like Rodney Lyle, but I'm not going to give up a first-round pick. Wrong position. Patrick Willis, Bart Scott, Teddy Bruschi, D'Amico Ryans. I'm going to try D'Amico Ryans first. Ooh, they really like Rodney Lyle and Dexter Jackson. Is there an offer that involves both of them? That's not both of them in a first-round pick. Although I would consider that. I'm actually going to do that, to be honest. Rodney Lyle, Dexter Jackson, and a first-round pick for D'Amico Ryans. That works for me. And then we've got, let's see, another receiver. I've got one go-to guy for this, and I don't know if they're going to want to get rid of him, but okay. Calvin Johnson is a guy I normally trade for in the offseason, but they don't want to get rid of him. So what we'll do is we'll wait for somebody to get cut. But this roster looks very solid now with D'Amico Ryans added in. Like, I don't see any major holes except maybe center, so we're going to try to piece together something for my man Nick Mangold from the Jets, or another decent center. So let's see, let's go to the Dolphins and ask about Samson Satele. Would they do it for a 2/4? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm down for that. So yeah, so our line is looking solid. We got Levi Jones, we'll have David Hale there, Samson Satele, Chris Snee, and Willie Anderson. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna cut it here and go ahead and like negotiate the rookie contracts and stuff, and go ahead and get into the regular season. And then I'll show you guys the roster whenever I finish making it. So see you guys in a couple minutes. Okay, so Keith Rivers, he's gonna want a lot. Honestly, we're just gonna do that. Alright, so we're at the regular season. And so we've got Carson Palmer, Aaron Brooks, and Jeff Rowe at quarterback. Then at running back, we've got Rudy Johnson, Darren McFadden, Sullivan Young, and Jamal Buckingham. Then Dan Creeder at fullback. At receiver, we've got Chad Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Mario Manningham, Brandon Jones, and Kevin Robinson. At tight end, we've got Mark Renner, Kyle Brady, and Chad Mustard. At left tackle, we've got Levi Jones, Torin Tucker, and Adam Keefe, something. Then we got Andrew Whitworth and David Hale. We got Samson Satele and Eric Jasiuk. Then we got Chris Snee and Roy Schuening, Billy Anderson and Damian Woody. And on defense, we've got Jason Hatcher and Robert Gathers, Justin Smith, Darren Howard, and Tony Bake. We got Dre Moore, Javon Hay, and Hank Smithers. We got Scott Fujita and Rashad Gianti. We've got D'Amico Ryans and Bobby Carpenter, Keith Rivers and David Vobera. Then at corner, we've got Randall Gay, Kendry Ward, Jonathan Joseph, Leon Hall, Deltha O'Neal, and Dewan Tribble. We've got Ty Law and Marvin White, Nidu Ndukwe and Keelan Johnson. We got Shane Graham at kicker and Sam Cook at punter. So we are going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs, and I will see you guys at the playoffs. Alright guys, so we barely missed the playoffs again. We went 7-9 in this one, and we missed out by a game to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who went 8-8. So again, kind of disappointing. I was hoping this team would actually be better, but it ended up being worse than the Bears team. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and this is me signing off.